Hello everyone and welcome to this video. As this is our first video, let me introduce you to myself. My name is Testify and I'm your host for today. I am 11 years old. I am a sixth grader student. So let's go to our today's topic, and if you want to support us, you can. There is our Patreon in the link down in the description below. So let's get into our topic. In December, Bankman-Fried was arrested in the Bahamas for lying to investors and committing fraud. He was extradited to the United States. What charges did he face? Since Bankman-Fried's extradition, several charges have been added and later dropped from him in this indictment. Mr. Bankman-Fried had been under house arrest at his parents' home as he awaited trial on charges stemming from the collapse of his cryptocurrency company FTX. Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of the collapsing cryptocurrency exchange FTX, was sent to jail on Friday after the federal judge in New York revoked his bail, accusing him of trying to influence witnesses which are poised to testify against him at a widely anticipated trial in less than 2 months. Mr. Bankman-Fried, 31, had been house arrested at his parents' home in Palo Alto, California. Since he has been arrested in December on fraud charges stemming from his FTX implosion, but after hearing on Friday, Judge Lewis A. Kaplan of the Federal District Court in Manhattan said that that arrangement would have to end after prosecutors argued with Mr. Bankman-Fried had twice tried to interfere with witnesses in the case, including by giving documents to reporters. He had gone up to the line over and over again. I am going to revoke bail, Judge Kaplan said from the bench after the order was read aloud. 2 U.S. Marshals had Mr. Bankman-Fried removed his tie and navy suit jacket as they prepared to handcuff him. His mother, Barbara Fried, in attendance with his father, tried to approach him, but the court officer cautioned her to stand back. He was taken to the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. One of Mr. Bankman-Fried's lawyers, Mark Cullen, said in court that he intended to appeal. Judge Kaplan said he wouldn't wait for the outcome of that effort being sent to Mr. Bankman-Fried to jail. The courtroom scene was the latest humiliation blown by Mr. Bankman-Fried since the cryptocurrency company fell apart in one of the most stunning corporate crashes in recent history. FTX rode the highest of the virtual currency market to become one of the industry's leading companies after filing the bankruptcy after the run of deposits last fall. Over a few weeks, Mr. Bankman-Fried went from being an industry titan courted by politicians and celebrities to a criminal defendant facing decades in prison. As a bail issue, he was debated in court filing over recent weeks. Judge Kaplan imposed a temporary gag order preventing the FTX founder and his representatives to speaking to the media. Lawyers for Mr. Bankman-Fried said that by giving him the document sorry to the documents to the Times, had been exercising his right to answer an inquiry from the media and had not been breached in terms of his bail agreement. The Times Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press and documentarian making a film about Mr. Bankman-Fried, each submitting a court filing raising First Amendment concerns about the gag order. The status of the order was not immediately clear after Mr. Bankman-Fried was sent to jail on Friday, but on court, Judge Kaplan said that defendant's speech is not protected if it is to bring about a crime. He said he had concluded that Mr. Bankman-Fried's communication with the media and separate attempts to contact a former FTX employee were intended to imitate or also influence witnesses in the case. The spokesman for Mr. Bankman-Fried declined to comment. The spokesman for the U.S. Attorney's Office of the Southern District of New York, which is prosecuting Mr. Bankman-Fried, did not respond to request a comment. Mr. Bankman-Fried was arrested in the Bahamas, where FTX was based, after the company collapsed during the turbulent week in November. He was charged with using customers' deposits to finance lavish real estate purchases, political donations, and charitable initiatives. After a few days in jail in the Bahamas, he was extradited to the United States and released on highly restrictive bail conditions that require him to wear an ankle monitor and confirm him to his parents' house. He had pleaded not guilty. Since his release, Mr. Bankman-Fried has been reprimanded repeatedly for behaviors that prosecutors said punished for boundaries of what he was allowed to do while awaiting trial. In court filings in January, the prosecutors presented evidence that he had sent messages to the former FTX executive who had been a witness in the case, asking to speak with him. They also said Mr. Bankman-Fried had used a virtual private network or a VPN, a tool claimed could disguise how he was using the internet while awaiting trial. At the time, Judge Kaplan ordered Bankman-Fried to submit a tighter bail requirements that restricted which websites he could use and prevent him from communicating with former FTX employees. Visiting to his parents' house was prohibited from taking phones and computers inside. While it's uncommon for bail to be revoked, especially so close to a trial date, it did happen when judges are convicted that the defendant's actions pose a threat to the community or the witnesses. Judges have a good bit of discretion on revoking bail, said Eric Gordon, a law and business professor at the University of Michigan. Judges have a good bit of. If you are out of the bail, you don't want to come within a mile of doing anything that could be seen as an attempt, of course, to coerce a witness. The Times article about Mr. Elson included excerpts from private Google documents addressed to Mr. Bankman-Fried with raw reflections on their relationship with her insecurity about her role as a chief officer in the Al-Adami research, a hedge fund that Mr. Bankman-Fried found in court. Prosecutors argued that the sensitive nature of the writing showed Mr. Bankman-Fried was seeking an intermediate or disdirect from his former girlfriend. No set of release conditions can assure the safety of the community. Daniel Salson, one of the prosecutors, said that after a hearing last month, the defendant has shown that he is intent to exploiting the conditions of release and improperly ruling. Judge Kaplan said that he was open to the possibility of transferring Mr. Bankman-Fried to a facility that would offer more consistent internet access, like a detention center in Putnam City, New York. He said he was willing to consider an arrangement that would allow Mr. Bankman-Fried to meet his lawyers in their office under heavy security. For now, though, Mr. Bankman-Fried will be housed in the federal facility in Brooklyn in court filings. His lawyers argued that the jail was facing a staffing crisis and that people held there typically had limited computer access. The location is on anyone's list of 5-star facilities, Judge Kaplan acknowledged on Friday. Saul Nakar contributed reporting. And thank you, Mr. Sultan Nakar, for contributing for this report. And everybody watching, just please subscribe, comment your ideas. I think that he needs to be arrested, as you have seen the clips. He has made the customers lose $8 billion, which is a ton of money, and and using that much money and using customers' money to buy real estate and housing is not a good idea. I believe that he needs to be arrested anywhere. I don't care about his internet. He needs to get arrested for making people lose $8 billion. That's a very large amount of money. That could change a whole entire country at once, or could make a lot of stuff different. So just tell me your ideas in the comments down below, and if you want to support me, my Patreon link is down in the description below. You can choose 3 kinds of your Patreon paid ways. You could have the army, not the US Army, but the Patreon are the show's army. It could be the generals or officers, or it could be the special forces. All of them have different stuff. And we'll start live streaming in a few amount of days. And until next time, have a blessed and good time.